Hello, everybody. Je suis all alone tonight. Unfortunately, Drew is he's tidying his workshop up. What a lame excuse that is. And Spencer's even worse. He's building a model. So I'm here by myself. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? So we'll try and keep it mercifully short tonight. But what I will do is I will do some updates for some very stalled projects, things that I have been working on and off of for a couple of a couple of years, and so we will dive into that. But before we go anywhere near that, this last week we had adventures, and oh my goodness me, did I have adventures. So on Tuesday, we went to Frome, and we went to the Frome Model Centre, where we delivered the Sabre 1602 Hanomag tractor, which Luke from the shop gave me last year. I think it was my last trip to Glastonbury before my vacation at Southmead. So apologies to Luke. This is a little bit overdue, but what a fabulous kit. Very delicate though. I think we spoke about this last week, is that it is just incredibly delicate, but absolutely crammed with detail. And yeah, I would certainly happily build more from 1602 in the future. So so there we go. That was a trip to Glastonbury. Very good, very nice cup of tea in the Bird's Nest, which is the kind of cafe just round the corner from the model shop. And also, those of you who've never been to Frome before, it is absolutely delightful. That's Catherine Hill, where the shop is, and the town is literally built in a bowl with hills all around it, but it is such a fabulous little town. Yes, it is definitely one. If you ever you are in the area, Frome is definitely worth a visit, and the Frome Model Centre is definitely worth a visit. So check the opening times before you make a trip out there. But no, so there we go. One model down. So let me just quickly read the comments here. I'm just seeing. Let's have a look. Let's just say hello to everybody who's tuned in. So hello to Russell Taylor, Peter Oxley, Nick Brown, Mark Ryan, Hobby Time, Dave Swindle, Kev Tinker, and Ken Tinker, if you're out there. Powell Krupovich, Rob Sutto, or Rob Suto, Phil, Dougal McWoogle, Jim Altergott. Hello from Chicago, says Jim. Hello back to you in Chicago, Jim. Then we've got Michael Hooverling, Michael Scott, Sean Smith, Yoav Afreti, Greg Woodbridge, Dave Fleming, Jack Daniels is good. Apparently, I'm more of a Glenn Morangi chap myself. Mike Williams, hello, Mike. Peter Cosgrave, Andreas Samuelson. He says, hello from Sweden. Hello, Sweden. It sounds like the Eurovision Song Contest now, doesn't it? Theron Hampton, Stephen Pryor, John Huston, Phil Frisk, Go For It Painting, John Connolly, Dave Coward, Plastic Scholar. Always nice to have some scholars in the house. DRS Trains, Rally Chefs Model Shed, Bruce Bell, Wayne Beatty, Andy Brennan, Ian Goldstraw, Peter Oxley, Ophir Cohen, oh my goodness me, Juan Francisco Molanido, Simon Lewis, Paddy Modler, Lady Knievel, James Tayton, and Richard Griffiths, who says, I'm here in sunny North Wales. Dark outside, Richard, but yeah, it's been a lovely day today. It's been very, very good. So part 2 of the road trip last week took us to the other end of Somerset, and that was a trip to Jadlam in Glastonbury. And those of you who have never been to Glastonbury, it's a fabulous town. It really is. And that was to deliver the Mando speeder bike. Apparently, I committed some terrible faux pas. I got the gaiters on the boot the wrong color. For some reason I thought they were black. They should be white. So apologies, Star Wars fans. I know that's probably why Alderaan got blown up originally, because somebody made a mistake with their model. But what can I say? Wasn't paying attention properly. So, but yeah, it was delivered to Jadlam. And in fact, if I just quickly nip onto their Facebook page, they posted up some of their own images of it. Here we go. Share screen. I wish there was a quicker way of doing this, but yeah, there we go. Jadlam posted up some images of it, which was jolly decent of them. Oh, there's Grogu. And yeah, I don't build that much science fiction stuff, and looking at those boot gaiters, is it any wonder? Yeah, I will be dipping my toe into science fiction again at some stage. But there we go, and it was yeah, I think we all saw that, and yeah, there we go. It was a fabulous trip. Did those pictures come through just now? Bum bum bum. Oh, all right. I'll share them again just in case, because I think I had the wrong setting on there for a moment. So bear with, folks. This is the problem of doing things solo. Right, here we go. So like I say, these are Jadlam's. Yeah, no, only my pic showed up. There we go. Rookie error. So these are Jadlam's photographs that they've taken. So there's Grogu in the little satchel, and there's the biker, and fabulous kit. I mean, I really did enjoy it, and I will be building some more science fiction stuff at some stage. So there we go. Revell Mandalorian Star Wars speeder bike, which is not out yet, but I do believe it is out in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, Peter Oxley says the child. Yeah, his name's Grogu though, isn't it? I think it's established in series 2 or 3. So and we've got another new series coming soon, The Acolyte. Looking forward to that. So but yeah, and on both occasions, I would like to say a personal big shout out to my friend Tara. Tara is the remarkable young lady who this time last year sensed that things weren't right with me. And round about April, she came round one weekend and she took one look at me and she bundled me into her car. And then a month later, I came out of Southmead Hospital with holes in my head. But no, so a big thank you to Tara for coming out for Frome and Glastonbury. And quite frankly, folks, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. So there we go. So thank you, Tara. Projects, right? Shall we dive on with the projects? And well, I'm hopefully going to be meeting up with Mr. Farmer this week. Don't think he's going to offer me a job in the fire escape trade, but we live in hope. But I think he mentioned to me on a text the other day that he's got some B-Max cars that he wants building up. And I always like a challenge. I'm not a car modeler, as for those of you who have seen my car models will go, yeah, you're not a car modeler, mate. But I do like a challenge. So in the interim, whilst I'm waiting to meet up with Andy, I have been going back through some shelf of doomers here. And this is the Rubicon 156th scale Chevrolet truck with crew, which I started, I think this is about 2 years ago. I don't know why this stalled, other than I can only imagine probably shinier things turned up in the workshop, and I just kind of put it aside. It's, I mean, 156th is it's a wargaming scale, and these kits, rather interestingly, for the Interesting Modeling Company, are molded in ABS. They're not molded in high impact polystyrene, but you can use things like EMA Plastic-Weld on them. But the level of detail and the overall fit is superb. I might be dipping into some more of these at some stage. But yeah, so that's where the vehicle is at the moment. As you can see, I had great fun weathering that. Why did this one stall? It's because they give you a couple of figures in the kit. And if I zoom in, the figures in this kit are absolutely exceptional. They are beautifully molded, and you get a standing figure and you get a seated driver figure as well. So what stalled this is the fact that I absolutely suck at figure painting. So I have gone back to the cheats method of figure painting, which I think Francois Verlinden mentioned this 30 odd years ago, and I think Chef Payne used to do the same. And that was, you base coat the flesh areas in like a sandy tan color. Then you take some raw umber oil paint, just smother the flesh areas in it, let it dry kind of overnight, then get an old brush and then just remove the excess paint from the skin areas. Now, there's still some more work that needs to be done on these, and I might even go in there with a paintbrush and just do some highlights and some other bits and pieces. But it is a remarkably effective way of cheating at doing face and skin tones on figures. So, like I say, these are exceptional. I wish Rubicon would scale these to 48 scale, because they are just utterly beautiful figures. So that's where we are with that one. Probably a couple of days work just to paint the figures. Going to be a couple of days for me, folks, because like I say, I absolutely suck at figure painting. And yeah, and we'll get that one wrapped up. It's got no purpose other than I think somebody sent it to me, and to see what I thought of them. So we will finish that one off. I'm just having a look at some of the comments here. Dave, all right, Dave Fleming says, you really need to explain the fire escape thing for the younger viewers. I'll explain it now. It's a Genesis song from their 1983 album, Selling England by the Pound. And it's the song I Know What I Like. And there's a line in there, Sunday night, Mr. Farmer called. He said, pop up to town. There's a job for you in the fire escape trade. Classic Peter Gabriel era Genesis album. Absolutely fabulous. So there we go. John Connolly says, hi, JM. Mini Art have announced a new 234 Puma. We are so good. I was hoping if we were going to have a full show tonight with a co-presenter, we were going to talk about that, because Mini-Art and somebody else has announced one, I forget who. I'm sure somebody in the comments will jog my memory. But yeah, 2 new 35th scale Pumas, absolutely fabulous. And John Huston says the Cooper looks back on track. Yeah, try not to foul it up this time. The mistake I made was I put paint straight onto plastic, which I usually do, but I used Halford's British Racing Green, which I think is a little bit too hot for polystyrene, and I started getting these horrendous swirls in the plastic. So I might try it again. I might try decanting it into an airbrush, or I might just use whatever Tamiya Fujimi rather recommend for the paint. But yeah, my mistake. Juan Francisco Molinido says Selling England by the Pound, one of the great albums from Genesis. Yeah, absolutely. Jim Altergott. So Jim obviously wants a Christmas present off of me. He says, I disagree, Jam. I think your figure painting skills are very good. Show us the crew figures on the Tamiya Panzer IV Aus G. I don't think I've got around to painting them at the moment. So Rye Field Model, thank you, Jim. Anyway, Andy King reminds me it's Rye Field Model who are doing a 35th scale Puma. So like I say, we have decades where I think the only game in town was the old Italeri kit, and then I don't think Dragon did one, did they? And then in the space of a week, we suddenly get 2 new 35th scale Pumas. So I'm not complaining. So we mentioned the Mini just now, and oops-a-daisy, let's zoom out. So I did a rescue job on this and went over it with some Tamiya fine grey primer. It does need a little bit of polishing out, and in fact, for the polishing out, I will use my favorite thing, which is some Scotch-Brite like material, which you can just gently run over the primer, and it just takes out any kind of dints and fluffs and things. In fact, if I zoom in, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see just there. Oh my goodness me, what was I thinking? So I think a little bit of, there we go. So yeah, so essentially this will be given a polish with Scotch-Brite just to key the primer ready for the color coat. I am going to be talking to Ian Hartup, because Ian's forgotten more about car modeling than I'll ever learn, and so I'm going to be picking his brains to to come up with some ideas and solutions, and just what's the best method of painting something like this. It's always a learning curve, folks. And those of you who are sharp-eyed may spot down there at the bottom of the A panel, there is a hole, and that's because, having owned several classic minis over the years, these areas are always the first to rot. So I decided to replicate that on the model. So I thinned the inside of it out and then went at it with a scalpel blade. So we have a little bit of genuine mini rot there. But what the finish I'm going to do on this one, it's going to be a kind of an approximation of my beloved Green Cooper that I had to say goodbye to at the end of last year. But yeah, it's going to be an approximation of that and some other original ideas as well. So it will have will be mostly British Racing Green. It will have a white roof, probably a door panel in red primer. I've got some ideas, but it's going to be a barn find. So I'm going to make it into a little vignette and kind of like, with some grass and stuff, as if it's been found in the corner of a field or something. So, yep. So we will, and this was kindly donated to the show by Mr. Andrew Hills of Antics in Bristol. And I will get this finished because Andy's got the patience of a saint that I've really taken my eye off the ball with this over the last couple of years. And yeah, I just need to get a wiggle on, quite frankly. And yeah, there's going to be some interesting detail painting on this, especially masking the back end here and doing the chrome surrounds for the rear lights and a few other bits and pieces. But what is modeling if not a challenge? So I'm going to let this primer kind of harden off for another couple of days before I really start going at it with some probably with some more Scotch-Brite, but I might also try some of the Trizac out on it as well. So fabulous Cars Minis. I mean I love my Binny that I've got now, but the fun I used to have a red one and then I had the green one, and just great fun. Honestly, glorified go-karts. Mike Williams asks, do Mini Art do 24 scale cobwebs? Why am I that long in finishing stuff off, Mike? Am I really that bad? Lady Knievel says she's got a Fujimi Mini to do and a resin Mr. Bean character to go with it. I have been following a build online where somebody's been doing a Mr. Bean Mini. And she also says, I have to figure out how to scratch build the clasp and padlock door on that Bean Mini. Simon Lewis has a question. I'm going to have a quick swig of some tea, or barley cup rather. So, a question. It's been said that people are not building armor or models from certain countries. I just wonder when it becomes okay to build models of their kit again. I know many of us build German kit. Just wonder when it becomes okay. Tricky one, Simon. I think that is going to have to be a personal decision. He says just something I've been thinking about. I'm sure a lot of us also have similar thoughts. Personal decision. It's a personal hobby. I would say that's entirely up to you. Really is. In fact, Dave Fleming, there you go. Dave Fleming says, Simon Lewis, personal choice, your models, your rules, and don't let anybody tell you any differently. In fact, yes. In fact, I do believe we did that as a bit of what they call branding. Yes, there we go. There we go. Your workbench, your rules. So I always think that's that works. So personal decision. Anyway, and let's just have a quick scroll down some more of the comments. Simon James Colley says T44 only Mini Art do this, and they're from Ukraine. They are indeed fabulous. And Simon Lewis says he's in the middle of a T34 85, a T44. So it's like I say, Mini Art have still been cranking out T34s. So personal decision. And right, what else have we been working on here? This is another shelf of Duma, and it is Italer's Eurofighter Typhoon. Now, I started building this again probably about 2 years ago. I seem to remember, I think the hobby company wanted one for a display, so I started making this one, and then other projects came along and they said, we need this more urgently. So this just kind of got shoved on a shelf over there, and kind of forgotten about a little bit. So I hate investing time in projects and not finishing them off. So I will I will try and get something done with this. It's so close to completion. It's ridiculous. Not the greatest kit, it's got to be said, and I think we'll put that down to age, because this must be about 25, almost 30 years old now. Probably about 25 years old. Italeri have upped their game in recent years, as the AMX kit shows. We'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, with this is kind of getting there. Let's just have a quick look in the box to see what else have we got. Oh dearie me, things are spilling out. Lovely decal sheet, by the way. Absolutely, I like that. That is top class. That is. And of the schemes that Italeri offer in the kit, I quite like the idea of doing the D-Day one, or even the 2014 display one. Oh, decisions. So let's have a look. We rather smartly primed our jet pipes in black, so that'll be good for when we get round to metallizing them. As always with Italeri, some of the stuff isn't brilliantly packed, and I think we're gonna have to do a little bit of a repair on the canopy there. Yeah, we've still got the seams on the drop tanks to clean up, and on the wheels as well. But I mean, how many bits and pieces have we got to do here? Not that many. And also, if I'm building a display aircraft, I think I can get away with not hanging all the weapons on it. Probably just drop tanks, and that'll be it. So yeah, I think again probably a week of evenings, and we might get this one out of the door. But like I say, I'm just going to I'm not going to bust a gut to get it finished at the moment, because there is absolutely no priority to get it done. So I'm anticipating other more pressing things, which is why this got bumped in the first place. So, but like I say, I hate to invest so much time in something and then not finish it off. So, talking of which, here is another one, and this is, I started this about 2 years ago, and it's the Tamiya 1/12 scale Street Rider. And I know Spencer did an absolutely top class job on this figure, and I think he did his with the beanie hat on. So I went down the route. Let me just go and grab off the paint rack here. I've gone down the route of doing one with a skid lid, but I am having an inordinate amount of, you can't see it in the camera at the moment, but there is a seam that from the two halves of the helmet, and I have filled it with super glue, and I've sanded it, and I've primed it, and I've covered it with Mr. Surfacer, and I've then kind of like primed it again and then sanded it, and still the seam keeps coming through. It's so frustrating. But let's just zoom out a second. So that's where we are. There's other bits of projects in here, but yeah, the body is pretty much done. We've just got the arms to deal with, and I'm going to have a word with Spence to work out whether I don't know if you can see that there, to work out whether this is actually a kind of like a seam of the molding, or whether that's supposed to be a sewing seam from the fabric. So I'll have a word with him about that. But yeah, that is, the reason why I want to get this one done and dusted is so that I can break out my Bear with, folks, bear with. We are going to get badges made that say bear with, bear with. I bought the full suite of the Mr. Colour Leviscus. Oh no, those are AKs. Right, that's it. So I think this is the full suite here of the Leviscus colour, and these are airbrush colours, and they are mostly kind of like flesh colours as well. So so what have we got here? We've got white peach, which is a kind of like a base colour. We've got cocoa milk, which is slightly darker. We've got clear pale red. We've got did I buy 2 clear pale reds? I did. What an idiot. 2 clear pale reds and a clear pale orange. So these are designed for large scale figure painting. Like I say, they're airbrush only. So they would be perfect to try out on the face of the Street Rider. So I will get round to using those, and being Mr. Colour, I'm not anticipating any problems, quite frankly. As you can probably see up there, I don't know if you can see that. Let me just turn the camera around. There we go. We've got lots of Mr. Colour thinner up there. So, oh, a little look into the secret workshop here. So, and also Mr. Colour can be thinned with the Tamiya lacquer thinners, and Dave Fleming, right, Peter Oxley makes a point. He says, for your information, guys, Mini Art now in Poland, not Ukraine. I've heard about that, but we'll try and get some confirmation on that. Dave Fleming says, are those makeup or cake colours? Well, I think given my predilection for cake, that's a tricky one. And hello to Jadlam, who have joined us this evening. They say, if it helps, sales of sore subjects increase anytime they hit the news. While there are many who are currently refusing to build Russian subjects, I can assure you there are many others who are cracking on. So it's up to you and what you're happy with. Yeah, absolutely. Jad, I'm also saying, I'm confused here. Dave Fleming, they look similar to JM's nail polish from last week. I think Jadlam are being a little bit mischievous here. I wish I could get away with nail polish, quite frankly. And Mike Williams says, Mini Art 48 scale P47 Thunderbolt box definitely says made in Poland. So yeah, okay. Everybody's having a bit of a pile on now. So and Phil says, we were talking about this with Drew last week, so that's where all those 1112 varnishes have gone. Very good, very good. I can see I'm going to terminate this show very quickly in a second if everybody's just going to pile onto me. And yeah, so we will get that one finished and get the Street Rider done as well. And I'm just having a look at the shelf of doom here. What else have we got over here? We've still got the Tamiya Schwimmwagen, which I'm going to build up as that captured British one in that very famous captured American one, rather, in that very I am going to do it as a captured British one, because one of my Schwimmwagen books has a couple of soldiers repainting it in British Army markings. So yeah, I'm going to do that. No, that's finished. We've still got I've got the wrong glasses on there. Still got the Tamiya Panzer IV Ausf G to finish off. That's all painted. I started painting that when I was at the Al Murray Warfest thing year before last. I've got an FX George Washington figure to paint up, which is a Christmas present for my friend Steve. So I am going to get a wiggle on with that at some stage. A Tamiya Comet, which is missing some bits that Marcus Nichols helped himself to at Telford the year before last. Cheers, Marcus. No, he needed them for his model for Tamiya magazine, so that's fine. An Italeri Kubelwagen here. And there are some other ones just up on the shelf there, but they're actually they're paint mules. So they're things that I have built with the express purpose of, if ever I need to do a paint demo, I've got a model ready to go that we can use to do some painting on. So like I say, they're not, they don't count, frankly. And I'm just going to have a look. Scrolls down. Just having a look at some of the comments here. Well, Juan Francisco Molinido says, perhaps this is leading to an IMC Shelf of Doom group build. I like the sound of that. I think that would be an absolutely splendid top dollar idea. That so. Everybody start having a think about that, because I think what we'll do is we might time that for the middle part of the year when it's the summer solstice. So it's it's the longest day, and there's plenty of light out there, and it's like everybody use the time to finish off these projects that are doomed. So Shane Weir, hello Shane. He says, "Good day, JM. What? No support of the IMC? No. As I said at the beginning of the show, is Drew has got this crazy idea in his head to actually gut his workshop and start, pretty much start again. I mean, the temerity of the man, for goodness sake. And Spence is worse. Spence is actually building models. Unbelievable. You cannot rely on people these days. It really is, so disappointing, but no, that's fine. And well, here we go. Jadlam say, any interest in the June men kits that have just rocked up, proving very popular? Yes, essentially, yes. I would love to build some of the Meng June kits. So we'll have an email conversation about this after the show. But yeah, and in fact, I am really looking forward to popping to our local cinema in the next couple of weeks to go and see Dune Part 2. And for those of you who don't know, we are absolutely blessed around here. I'm just calling up an image here. What do you do on Sunday? Well, I tuned in to watch the thing about modeling, but he started talking about cinemas and God knows what else. Here we go. We have in the next town, we have the glorious Clevedon Curzon Cinema. And when I show you the picture, you're all going to fall in love with it. You're all going to want to visit it. It is a fabulous old cinema. Yeah, we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness me, it's glorious. And I went there year before last with my friend Jackie to see Dune Part 1, or Terry and Dune as I called it. And so yeah, we are planning to go and see Part 2 in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, the Clevedon Curzon. Oh my goodness me, what a fabulous cinema! It is utterly stunning, and it's 10 minutes that way. So anyway, and that's all right. I'm just seeing Herman Hambrush says, would love to see some movies in a theatre, but for some reason they insist on blasting your ears out. Gotta say, not long after I came back off holiday last year, Jackie did drag me out to the cinema to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Oh my goodness me. I thought Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was bad. Oh, it's dire. It's absolutely dire. Anyway, and James Ray, I like the sound of this. He says, discovered a use which saves printing time for Tamiya fuel barrels. Cut in half, they make superb troughs for my 156 scale Western War Games board. Today's useless hint. Always a useful hint, in fact. In fact, that's one thing that I would seriously want to get into doing 3D printing for, is to 3D print my own oil drums, because I've done some of the Tamiya ones down the years, and I believe it or not, actually out in the garden I've got an old oil drum, which is just used for water storage and stuff, but it's got a hulking great big seam line down one side, but not on the other, and that's the one thing that drives me nuts about with oil drums, injection molded oil drums, is just getting rid of that last seam. So anyway, there's always one. Dave Fleming says Dial of Destiny is great. No, it's not. Seriously, David, we'll be having words with you. And Russell Taylor says, I need a Shelves of Doom group build. Not far off that here, Russell. But yeah, and Philip Jones says, on the group build idea, sign me up. Hey, we all have unfinished kits, don't we? Yes. I wish I had Drew and Spencer's Fortitude, which is they just stick them straight in the bin. If they've been hanging around for too long, they take one look at them and just go, nah, ain't gonna happen, into the bin. I'm too nice. I hate the idea of wasting models, and only on occasions have I actually looked at a project and thought, yeah, that isn't gonna progress any further. Boom, into the bin it goes. But none of the ones I've got here at the moment. So anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up in a second, because we've been doing 45 minutes, which frankly is, winging it. But I am hoping to do another pop-up live at some stage, because like I say, I've got some stuff to build, and I've also got these beautiful SMS tools to try out. And yeah, if I'm gonna crack, as you can see, I haven't even taken them out the packaging yet. If I am going to crack these open, I'm going to do them on a brand new project, and I'm going to do them one where I can do a pop-up live as well. So but no, a big thank you to the very good people at SMS in Australia for sending us those, because yeah, we are gonna put them to good use. So that's it, folks. I'm gonna have to love you and leave you, really. Herman says, I watched Ford versus Ferrari recently, and now I want to dig up my old unfinished Shelby Cobra. And Dave Fleming says, I had to clear out of half-built kits when I cleared my dad's house. It was quite cathartic. Lady Knievel says, I don't believe in binning a model. Work through it, have a challenge. Absolutely, I'm of a similar persuasion there, and Jadlam, very good here. Jadlam are saying about the ornithopter from June. It's on their website for £12 with free postage. So yeah, I'm definitely up for building some Dune stuff. So I will talk about it after the show. On a personal note, it is, hopefully she's watching, it is my mother's birthday on Tuesday. And if I could get a couple of Happy Birthday Jones tonight, that would be a splendid way to round off tonight's show. So I'll leave it up to you, folks. If you want to ping a Happy Birthday Joan in the comment section, I'll bring them up on screen. and then hopefully that will put a smile on my mum's face. So, and in fact, we've here we go. Dave Fleming, he's the first one to dive in there. He says, happy birthday to Joan. Thank you, Dave. And Jad Lamb have said, happy birthday, Joan. Theron Hampton, whoops a daisy. Dave Swindle says, happy birthday, Joan. Hobby Time. There you go, Mum. Look, they're all saying happy birthday to you. Christopher Joseph Buchholz from California says, happy birthday from California. Nick Brown. I'll show you the comments when I pop round on Tuesday. But no, there we go. Thank you so much, everybody. Damian Mullen says happy birthday. Juan Francisco Molinido says happy birthday. Colin Hand says happy birthday. Folks, you are all absolute stars. So thank you so much for that. On that note, I'm going to leave you to your Sunday evenings. And like I say, we're going to try and do some more pop-ups as well. Now that I've got a quite a solid connection and setup here. Dougal says, happy birthday, Joan. Hope you have a lovely day. Yeah, well, she's got me coming round. So, you know, anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave you all to your weekend. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Like I say, it's just been kind of like 45, 50 minutes of a confused man from Dudley waffling on, but hey-ho. Hopefully one of the others will be back for next week's show, but we'll keep an eye out on the Facebook page because we're doing updates all week. And yeah, that's it. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe and stay out of trouble, and we'll see you very, very soon. So thanks for watching, folks. Goodbye.